Hey everyone, I'm Eric, and I'm happy to be with you today. I would like to introduce you to my friend Sean Warner with the Honduran Coffee Alliance. Sean, how you doing?
Good, good. Happy to be here.
Glad to have you here. We are talking today a little bit about our it's November already, Roaster's Choice Coffee, which is our Honduran coffee. And for this year and last year, we have gotten our coffee from Sean and the Honduran Coffee Alliance and want to give you a little bit of a background about what's going on there. So, Sean, I just wanted to, he's actually here.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not doing this over Zoom right now
Nice.
because Sean is currently living in the western suburbs of Chicago. But before you were in Honduras, so kind of give me a little feedback
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
how that whole thing happened.
Yeah, I grew up in the Chicago area, then ended up in Texas a while. Then my wife and I moved to Honduras 2013 as missionaries,
Gotcha.
working with an organization empowering education to support kids there. Nothing to do with coffee. Didn't really know about coffee, but started getting to know a lot of coffee producers in Honduras.
I imagine that.
Yeah,
There's a lot of coffee in Honduras.
Some
There
friends
you go.
were coffee producers, and we saw, hey, there's a ton of good coffee around here, but no way to connect those producers back to people that want awesome coffee back in the U.S.
Right.
So it started bit by bit developing, and then eventually formed Honduran Coffee Alliance. I think it was 2017, and with the whole idea how to help work with these producers that are awesome coffee, but have no way to connect them. They don't have any way in themselves to connect back to roasters that would want this great coffee.
Sure, they need a sales channel,
Yeah.
somebody that actually knows the roasting and the coffee producers.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And obviously getting to know from our side the need that exists in Honduras and the poverty that does exist there. There was an opportunity to say, okay, this is an awesome industry in Honduras that by working with producers that connect to specialty roasters that can help get better prices back to producers, an awesome opportunity to do something really good through that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you're able to work and help get those producers better pricing for their coffee. And tell me a little bit about how you guys have been working specifically in Honduras. Obviously, you're putting them in touch with roasters like us,
Yeah.
which is great. Are there other projects or anything like that you're working with in Honduras?
Yeah, exactly. It's evolved quite a bit over the years. Every year it
Right.
seems like a little different, but we've come to the realization that the base of it is what we're excited about, connecting individual producers, coffee producers with roasters.
Yeah.
But then how do we take it that next step? And we've started working with groups of producers, co-ops, cooperatives of producers, and trying to figure out how can we really work with that whole cooperative to find a better market for all their coffee, and develop more of these relationships. So we've working with quite a few different organizations and cooperatives so that we can start to take on the bigger challenges within coffee and connecting these producers back to roasters. Like I said, the key is that connection between a producer and a roaster so that both are successful in that
Right.
in that relationship.
Yeah.
And we love seeing that. That's what we're excited about. So we were able to connect Maria Amelia to you guys the last couple of years, and it's been great for her. It seems like for you guys. And
Yeah, it's been
exciting to see.
fantastic for us. And tell me a little bit about like the region that Maria is in and her family. I know they've got in that co-op we were talking before you got here. It's like all cousins. Everybody's related in there. So tell me a little bit about how you got to know Maria, about her family. There are a lot of farming going
Yeah.
on there. That stuff.
So I lived in the El Pariso area, which is more on the southern side, close to Nicaragua border. And she's actually in the Marcala area, a little bit further away from where I was more connected. And as Honduran Coffee Alliance started to grow, we wanted to connect to more and more producers and got to know this group of producers in this Marcala area. Marcala is well known for having really great coffee. You drive up to this city and just along the roads, there's coffee just everywhere.
Everywhere, all over. Nice.
And so connected to a guy, Hubert Nicolas, who, like I said, like I was just saying, there's cousins everywhere. So he has this group of producers they formed, and they formed this group of producers before they were just individual producers, but decided to kind of band together when they realized the way they were selling coffee just wasn't working.
Yeah.
And so they need to find a better way that's specialty coffee that's working together. And so Maria Amelia and her husband Edwin were part of that. They decided to kind of start this together with Hubert, and so this awesome group of producers called Cafesa.
Okay.
And it's based in a town called Santa Maria,
Gotcha.
and they work together to help sell their coffee, and then I've been able to team up with them in that.
So before that, I'm guessing, I don't know here, but they were just selling it on the open market, get a
Yeah.
couple of bags of cherries and bring them down to whatever mill was closest and that kind of stuff, and not really getting great pricing, I'm guessing.
Yeah, exactly. For a long time in Honduras, there was a whole system of intermediaries that would come in, and they would call them coyotes. Basically, that just means that people are coming in.
Coyotes not in a good
Yeah,
way.
yeah. And the idea was that there were people coming to try to buy coffee from them, use the money they had to buy it as cheap as possible and sell it as high as possible.
Yeah.
And even where they were selling it, though, the market of coffee, as we know, the market doesn't often offer good prices. So
Right, yeah.
they were stuck in this awful cycle of low prices, bad connections of how to get to market.
Sure.
And so by producing better coffee and then by connecting to people like us that can help facilitate those connections to roasters,
Sure.
they're able to do something completely different, have a stable market, stable price for their
Right.
for their coffee for a long time.
Love that. Yeah, the stability over time, I think, is probably one of the key things that I'm always preaching here is I love that we were able to buy from Maria last year, and we'll be able to we basically bought her entire crop this year.
Yeah.
And then, Lord willing, we'll be doing it next year and the year after that and for years to come. So
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that excites me about this business model is being able to work with one producer over a long period of time and give, both of us a stable source of great coffee and income
Yeah.
on both sides.
Yeah, and as we've talked to producers, one thing that they say over and over to us again is that's what they want. They want a relationship that will last, and they can have stability in it.
Yep.
So her having this now with fresh ground is they're excited about it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So
We're excited, and hopefully
yeah,
we'll make that a personal excitement sometime.
yeah, and it's a great coffee too. We're enjoying it.
Well, that's right. We
yeah.
got some brewed up right now. So, one of the questions I always like to ask on these kind of interviews is, and I think I know where you're going to go with this, but what would you say is one of the biggest challenges that they're facing right now with coffee in Honduras?
Quite a few I could list out.
Everybody's got a list of a few.
Yeah, one of the surprising ones I keep hearing is there are workers emigrating, leaving because they can't get good work on coffee farms
Yeah.
or anywhere, and so they're leaving Honduras.
Yeah.
And so they're having struggles getting people to work on the farms because they can't pay them enough. Maria Amelia now with this new relationship, I think, is able to offer something better so people can stay there and work
Right.
there.
Okay.
But talking to a lot of producers, that's one of the biggest challenges. Like I said, I could list quite a few other ones, but that's one of the ones I highlight is a lot of people just leaving Honduras. 'Cause of
Yeah.
that.
Labor seems to be an issue
Yeah.
around the world right now, and
Yeah.
I imagine if people are just up and leaving the country,
Yeah.
that it's a huge problem that they're
It's a
running
challenge,
into.
definitely.
So, okay. Well, I definitely appreciate the time, Sean, and appreciate all your work on getting us hooked up with some fantastic coffee.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for watching that, and enjoy some of our Honduran coffee from Maria Amelia Barahona, and we will catch you next time.
Awesome. Thank you.